Hey, Facebook. I don't know if you've heard about this Bible challenge that's going on or whatever, but apparently I've been challenged to basically read a Bible verse and in a video like I'm doing right now, and then put it in my own words and interpret it. And then I guess it's like a type of hot potato thing where you challenge somebody else to do the same thing. And so, yeah, I've been challenged by my friend Kia, and I'm going to read from Galatians 6, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to put that in my own words. So may the Lord add his blessing to whatever I read. Brothers and sisters, if a person is discovered in some sin, you who are spiritual restore such a person in the spirit of gentleness. Pay close attention to yourselves so that you are not tempted too. Carry one another's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. For if anyone thinks he is something when he is nothing, he deceives himself. Okay, so beginning with verse 1, to break it down, brothers and sisters, if a person is discovered in some sin, you who are spiritual restore such a person in the spirit of gentleness. Pay close attention to yourselves so that you are not tempted too. I believe that it's quite simple, yet a lot of Christians fail to do this. We're so quick to condemn our brethren who fall into sin rather than lovingly correct them and help them get back up. And we seem to forget that we as Christians sin basically every day. And so why judge somebody else just because they sin differently than you do? I like to always use David as an example because David was literally referred to as the man after God's own heart in the Bible. But yet he was still able to commit murder, to lust, to commit adultery, fornication, all of that, and manipulation, all types of sin. And he was not even convicted of it until Nathan the prophet came. And even after Nathan gave that juridical parable, then David was still, like David himself said that the person in the story should be put to death until Nathan switched it back on him and was like, that person is you. And that's when, but the difference between a Christian and somebody who's just going around is that as Christians, when we sin, it's not just, oh, I broke one of God's 10 commandments. It's, dang, I broke God's heart. So we already feel the conviction right there, like the moment that we realize that we've sinned. And so if we've already been convicted, then why do we need other people to come to us to push us even lower than we already are? And I feel that though even if you see a Christian who has not been convicted of that sin, then if you're going to go and approach them about that type of sin, then you should, first of all, you need to make sure that your hands are clean, because you can't go pointing fingers with dirty hands, And second of all, do it in a loving way, because nobody wants to listen to a Pharisee-type Christian who's always just judgmental and condemning people. Oh, you're going to hell. What? You post all that on Facebook, but yet you're out doing this, you're out doing that. It's always best, I would prefer to sit down with the person one-on-one or even text the person one-on-one and everything, hey, what's up? How you doing? This is that. Well, I just wanted to let you know that I feel that as a Christian, you shouldn't be doing certain things that you're doing. And, speak to him in a respectful type of manner, because once y'all are both coming at that level, if you're speaking to somebody out of love, then that means that you're showing that person that you generally care for them, and you're correcting them out of, love and grace, just as God corrects us. But the moment you start condemning them and start trying to accuse them and everything, they put up a wall. And then who knows, even if they continue, I feel like that'll make things even worse. Even if you're trying to get them to stop doing what they're doing, they're not going to stop now. Or even if they do stop, they're not going to come to you for help on stopping it. And you never know. They could be struggling with that thing, and you would never know until you finally sit down and actually relate to them and talk to them about it. And the last part of that verse says, pay close attention to yourselves so that you are not tempted too. I think that's pretty much self-explanatory. Like a lot of us tend to help people with certain problems, but we're not strong ourselves in that area. And so we end up falling to those certain problems as well. And the next thing you know, we're both in the mess. And so be careful of that. Verse 2 says, carry one another's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. I believe it goes back to the how Cain and Abel, that's where we first hear the term, am I my brother's keeper? Well, as Christians, we sort of are our brother's keepers. Not even sort of, we are. We are accountable for each other. Like the phrase goes around, oh, only God can judge me. Well, as a Christian, we are able to judge each other righteously, though. Like we have I'd say a duty to correct one another out of love, just like I said though earlier. And so to carry each other's burdens, we're supposed to care for each other. Like when somebody is in pain, when somebody is suffering from something, we're supposed to care. We're supposed to show love to them, just as Christ would love us if he was here today. That's why we're Christians, because we're supposed to be Christ-like. So if Christ would show love to somebody like that, then why wouldn't we? And the last part is, for if anyone thinks he is something when he is nothing, he deceives himself. Pretty much self-explanatory once more. In this world, God is not a respecter of persons. As in, that means that if you have 50 likes on your status, or if you have 2 likes on your status, God isn't looking at your status and saying, oh, snap, he has 50 likes, or she has 75 likes on her status. She's a better Christian. You're nothing. Let's just be real. We're all nothing without God. God, everything that we are is because of who God is within us. God has allowed himself to manifest through us. And so we have no right to become cocky, conceited, anything like that. And we should always remain humble, whether on the spotlight or behind the scenes. And I think that's mainly the main 3 points of what I was going to say on that. And just to basically attach to it as going back to the first verse once more. If a person is discovered in some sin, you who are spiritual restore such a person in a spirit of gentleness. I believe that, just like the David example that I gave, the difference between David and a worldly person was that when David realized what he did was wrong, then he repented. He was convicted of it, and then he repented. Now, if you, just like I said earlier, if you can break God's heart and break his commandments and you do not feel any type of guilt, then chances are you're probably not saved. Because a truly saved person will have such a love for God that it'll overpower their desire to sin. And even if they do fall to that desire to sin, they will not continue in that sin. It'll hurt them. And so I like to always use the example of the pig and the sheep, that when a pig falls into a mud, when the pig falls into a mud puddle, then the pig tends to roll around, and it's oh, well, since I've already fallen in here, then I might as well just have fun and everything. And it's in no rush to get out and get clean. As for a sheep who falls into a mud puddle, will quickly try to get up. And so I'm saying that God knows the difference between the pigs and the sheep. He knows the difference between those who purposely just say, oh, I'm a Christian and everything like that, going about their way and everything like that, and they fall into the mud. Sometimes they even walk right into it. They don't care, and they just roll around. Between the sheep who actually fall into it and they end up feeling remorse. Proverbs 24, verse 16, it says, for though the righteous may fall 7 times, they rise again, but the wicked stumble when calamity strikes. So that means that we all fall down, including the righteous people, but just like the song says, a saint is just a sinner who fell down and got back up. And that's what sets us all apart. And so, yeah, that's basically about it. And I guess I'm going to tag whoever I'm supposed to be challenging now. God bless y'all for watching this.